this trade was going to be a winner. Not maybe a winner, but going to be a winner. Or why would I do it? Why would I get into a trade if I didn't think it was going to win? Does that make sense to everybody? Is that the kind of logic that makes sense? That's exactly the kind of logic that's going to make sure you're not going to be successful in this business. It's exactly the kind of logic that is going to assure you that you will not make it in this business. This business has nothing to do with winning on a trade-by-trade basis. On a trade-by-trade basis. What you're going to learn today is that your technical systems, okay, what they give you is an edge. Everyone, you heard the word probability said 100 times. Probabilities, edges. Edge is nothing more than a higher probability of one thing happening over another. There's a huge difference between understanding that concept and actually believing it in a way that you can execute your trades properly. You actually have to believe in the nature of probabilities at the very core of your trading personality. Which means you're going to have to give up on the idea that each individual trade is going to be successful. What your system does is give you an edge over a series of trades where the outcome of each individual trade is unknown and unknowable. Not just unknown, unknowable. The more you think you got to know in this business, the less successful you're going to be. This isn't a business about knowing what's going to happen next. It's a business of getting your mind to the point where you're completely detached from your outcomes. Very different than the way we live our lives. Gino, I was talking to Gino last night. Gino's been an attorney for how many years? 43 years. What did you learn when you became a trader in relationship to the kind of strategies that you used as a trader?
Everything I use in law absolutely is completely the opposite of being a trader.
Did you hear what he said? Everything he used to be a successful lawyer is completely opposite of the strategies and the thinking methodologies that we have to use to be traders. If I'm a lawyer, am I detached from my outcome?
Yeah.
You are? Yeah. If I'm a lawyer, am I detached from my outcome? Oh, no. If I'm a lawyer, am I detached from my outcome? Absolutely not. I'm going to make sure that I get the outcome I want. If I'm a doctor, am I detached from my outcome? If I'm an engineer, am I detached from my outcome? So if I'm saying to you to be successful in this business, you're going to have to become detached from your outcomes. Just how in the world are you going to get to the point where you can do that? You don't know. You're right. You probably don't. Thank you. Trade for somebody else. Not everybody, the groups there's people that can trade for somebody else and be detached and trade for somebody else, and actually they're even more attached than what they would be normally. I work with both ways. There are people who can actually trade their own money. Once they learn the right methodology and the right mindset, they can trade their own money much easier than they can trade somebody else's. Because they're more concerned about, losing money for other people. Somebody you don't know? Yeah, it's still. There's a lot of variables in there. Yeah, that's, So basically, I had to write this book from, like I said, from the perspective of going from the ground up. And having 2 books under my belt, which I thought were really tough books to write. I mean, they were very, very difficult books for me to write. And I'm thinking, and this is my own bias that I'm going into this whole project with. Like, okay, I wrote the Disciplined Trader. It took me 8 years. I wrote Trading in the Zone. It took me 5 years. Come on, I should be able to knock this out in a couple of years, right? Anybody, right? Should be able to knock this out in a couple of years? Yeah. 8 years and I'm still not done. Way harder than Trading in the Zone. Way over the top harder than Trading in the Zone or the Disciplined Trader. I can't even begin to tell you how difficult it's been and how challenging it's been for me, and how just the impact that it's had on my life. Even it's just really been very, very difficult. But in any case, I found that breaking these concepts down to a core level where someone who doesn't know the business can understand it was not easy. And I made a lot, over the years, doing presentations, I've made a lot of assumptions. See, it's one thing to know how to trade, to break through the certain what I call the threshold of consistency. Like if over here, this is like a mental threshold, okay? Like if you're down here and you're booming and busting, okay, your equity is, you go up, you go down, you go up, you go down, and you want an equity curve that looks like this, you're going to have to break through what I call the threshold of consistency. And this is a mindset. It has nothing to do with your methodology. I'd say nothing. But you're going to have a good edge. All I'm saying is that, but there are a lot of good edges out there, okay? But so this is a mindset. Yeah. Breaking these concepts down in that way was just, I made a lot of assumptions. And breaking through my own assumptions was really a difficult process. Because what I was getting at is that it's one thing to learn how to trade for yourself, and however